Night Whispers.
Have you ever received a phone call from someone who's no longer alive? Tonight, I'll tell you the true story of a man named Adrian and how one mysterious call from his dead sister turned into a nightmare he could never forget.
Adrian was a 29-year-old man living in a small town in the United States. He worked as a network technician, often coming home late at night and rarely interacted with his neighbors. The only person he was truly close to was his older sister, Melissa. They would talk on the phone almost every day, sharing jokes, complaining about work, and checking in on each other. But tragedy struck without warning. One rainy night, Melissa was killed in a car accident. Adrian was devastated. His nights were now filled with silence and loneliness. 3 days after Melissa's funeral, Adrian was sitting in his living room, staring blankly at the silent TV screen. His phone buzzed on the table. On the screen, the name Melissa appeared. It was the same number he had saved years ago, the same number that should have been disconnected by now. His heart began to race. His hands trembled. Slowly, he answered, "Mel?" No reply, only a faint static, and somewhere within that static, the sound of breathing. The call ended abruptly. Adrian tried calling back, but a recorded message said, "The number you are trying to reach is not in service." The next night, exactly at 1:34 a.m., the phone rang again. This time, he heard a voice, soft but hoarse. "Don't leave the house." Adrian froze. His skin prickled with goosebumps. He tried to speak, but the voice simply repeated the same warning before the call ended. Night after night, the calls kept coming, always at the same time. Sometimes there was silence, sometimes faint sobbing, sometimes the sound of heavy rain, even when it was dry outside. Adrian contacted his phone provider to check the call records, but the operator insisted there was no record of any calls coming in at those times. One night, at 1:34 a.m. sharp, the phone rang again. Adrian answered, his voice firm. "Melissa, if this is really you, give me a sign." There was a sob, and then the voice said, "Adrian, please don't go to work tomorrow. Don't leave the house." The next day, Adrian decided to follow the warning. He called in sick and stayed home. That afternoon, he turned on the TV and his face went pale. Breaking news showed a massive accident on the exact highway he drove to work every day. Several people had died. The accident happened at the exact time Adrian would normally be on that road. After that day, the calls from Melissa never came again. Her number could not be reached, but Adrian swears that on rainy nights, if he listens closely, he can still hear his sister's voice, somewhere just beyond the static. This story is a reminder that perhaps death isn't the end, and sometimes our loved ones are still trying to watch over us, even from a different realm.